Party chief witnesses signing. Exchange of Vietnam-U.S. contracts. Cooperation agreements.
U.S. to attack Iran this weekend, Trump considering action.
Vietnam, where Tet is not just for the Vietnamese people.
Hello everyone, you are watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Đăng. Let's get started. On the evening of February 18th local time in Washington, D.C., General Secretary Truyen witnessed the signing and exchange of contracts and cooperation agreements between Vietnam and the United States.
The total value of the exchange documents amounts to $37.2 billion, demonstrating the strong and decisive commitments of the partners as bilateral relations enter a new phase of development. The signed and exchanged documents include many important agreements in the fields of science and technology, digital transformation, aviation, and healthcare. Vietnamese ambassador to the United States Truyen, Đăng, emphasized that agreements and cooperation documents between the business communities of the two countries have greatly contributed to building a strong, substantive, and balanced relationship. The Vietnamese embassy in the United States is committed to continuing to be an active bridge, promoting policy dialogue, resolving obstacles, and creating the most favorable conditions for business cooperation between the two countries.
According to CBS News, the U.S. military could be ready to strike Iran as soon as this weekend. However, President Donald Trump has not yet made a final decision on whether to approve military action against Tehran.
What I will say with respect to Iran is that the president and his team have
CBS News reported that Trump has not yet made a final decision on whether or not to launch an attack. The White House is reportedly weighing the risk of escalating tensions in the region against the political and military consequences of choosing to restrain. On the same day, CBS News also reported that President Trump informed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that he would support Israeli attacks on Iran's ballistic missile program if nuclear negotiations between Washington and Tehran fail. These ambiguous statements have fueled growing concerns about military conflict between the two countries, even as officials seem to remain hopeful about diplomacy. The USS Gerald Ford, the most advanced carrier strike group in the U.S. arsenal, could arrive in the region as early as this weekend, following a series of other military buildup activities.
When were you aware that
President Vladimir Putin met with Cuban foreign ministers in Moscow. During the meeting, Putin said that Russia believes the new restrictions on Cuba are unacceptable.
Also at the meeting, President Putin emphasized the special, historically rich friendship between Russia and Cuba. He also reaffirmed his support for Cuba amidst the increasing U.S. blockade. Cuba is facing one of its most serious energy crises, following the U.S. oil embargo and other restrictions. The island has experienced severe power outages and fuel shortages due to Washington's pressure campaign, including threats of tariffs on countries that continue to supply oil to Cuba.
Coming up next are some updated news.
According to the annual ranking by Internations, a global platform specializing in evaluating the lives of expatriates, Vietnam continues to be voted the country with the lowest cost of living in the world for 2026. This marks the 5th consecutive year that Vietnam has held this top position. Survey results show that 89% of expatriates living in Vietnam are satisfied with the cost of living, while 87% stated that their income is sufficient to live very comfortably. The prices of goods and services in Vietnam are rated as exceptionally competitive, ranging from dining and accommodation to transportation and tourism. According to the ranking, street food is one of the key factors driving Vietnam's appeal. Accommodation costs also remain low, catering to various traveler segments. Meanwhile, domestic travel is noted for being budget-friendly, putting little pressure on tourists' finances.
During the Lunar New Year of the Horse 2026, many museums across the country are hosting unique programs to bring traditional culture closer to the public. At the Vietnam Museum of Ethnology, the program celebrating the Year of the Horse, Colors of Hung Yen Culture, will take place on the 5th and 6th days of the new year, featuring folk performances, calligraphy, tahi, toy figurine, making, and ban chung wrapping. The Bac Ninh Museum is organizing Spring Travels in the Land of Quan Ho 2026 from the 3rd to the 6th day of the new year, highlighted by Quan Ho singing, Dong Ho painting, printing, water puppetry, and a Kin Bac culinary space. Meanwhile, the Vietnamese Women's Museum and the Da Nang Museum will remain open throughout the Tet holiday, offering various hands-on activities and free admission on the first day of the new year.
The 6th World Khmer Kun Championship took place in Sihanoukville, Cambodia, with the participation of 125 martial artists from 20 countries. The athletes competed for 46 sets of medals for both men and women. Participating in this tournament for the first time, the Vietnamese team won a total of 18 gold medals, 8 silver medals, and 10 bronze medals, surpassing host Cambodia to take first place overall. In this overall success, Nghệ An Province's sports delegation, with 4 athletes, all performed excellently and won all 4 gold medals. Kun Khmer, also known as Pradal Sere, is a traditional unarmed martial art of Cambodia, dubbed the art of fighting of the Angkor Empire.
For Vietnamese people, Tết is a time for family reunions and traditions. Today, in many Vietnamese homes, people from other countries also gather to make mảnh and celebrate the New Year. For them, Tết is no longer just a cultural experience. It has become part of their memories, their feelings, and even their family life.
Although this is the 5th time Nomiko Taimalinkis and her younger sister have left Germany to return to Vietnam for Tết with their mother, this is the first time they have worn the traditional áo dai, Vietnamese long dress, of Vietnamese women. Now old enough to observe, Nomiko clearly feels the joy of reuniting with her maternal extended family during the holiday.
I really love it. I feel like
I love this áo dai so much. I just want to wear it every day. I went to buy it with my mom, my sister, and my aunt. It was truly a wonderful experience.
Here, Tết is very special.
Tết here is very special because everyone reunites. People proudly hang the national flag and decorate their homes. Every household prepares food and buys kumquats or peach blossom trees. Everything is so beautiful. Alexander James Oliver Snedden, an Australian teacher who has taught English here for many years, deeply understands the hard work and busy preparations his wife and Vietnamese neighbors put into Tết. When the fireworks echo at the stroke of midnight, the feeling of family reunion is very special to Alexander. And Alexander isn't the only one who feels this way.
My brother-in-law has promised to take me fishing, which is something...
My brother-in-law said he would take me fishing this Tết, and I'm very excited. I love outdoor activities.
One of the best traditions is the lucky money.
One of the most wonderful traditions is lucky money. Giving lucky money to children brings so much joy. And I also like the Chinese zodiac. Each year is associated with a different animal. Ultimately, Tết is not found only in customs or a full ritual feast. Tết is the feeling of coming home, of calling one another family, whether spoken in Vietnamese, German, English, or any other language. When tradition is warm enough to touch the heart of someone from a different nationality, Tết has truly transcended geographical boundaries.
This is the end of the show today. Thank you for watching.